What's up, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? It's all that spicy here, and today we're doing our Dinosaur deck profile. So the Dinosaur deck is an absolute beast of a deck. To start off, we have two of our boss monster, which is Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And for those of you that don't know, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's ability basically cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by banishing two dinosaurs from your graveyard. Once per turn during your main phase, you can destroy one monster in your hand or field, and if you do, change on face-up monster your opponent controls to face-down defense position. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent, and if you do, you send that defense position monster to the graveyard. So it doesn't destroy it, it sends it. So with that, we also run 3 Dinowrestler Pankratops. Pankratops is awesome in this deck. It's basically like a Cyber Dragon for the deck, but also with Pankratops, when he's going to get destroyed, I like to use his ability to basically, you tribute one Dinowrestler, but you can also tribute himself, to then destroy one card in the field. So I use, say he's getting destroyed by Dark Hole or something, just get rid of the Pankratops, destroy something on their field, works a treat. So now we also run 3 Souleating Oviraptor. Souleating Oviraptor basically, when it's normal summoned or special summoned, you can add 1 level 4 or lower dinosaur into your hand or graveyard. Now we run 2 Babycerasaurus. Babycerasaurus, when this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 4 or lower dinosaur type monster from your deck. Now I also run 2 G-Rex. The reason I run 2 of these is it's a level 4 monster with 2000 attack, but also when he is banished, he can be special summoned when he's banished. So if you banish him from the graveyard, summon your Tyranno, get a special summon G-Rex back to the field. Now we only run 1 Overtex Qoatlus, 1 Miscellaneousaurus, and we also run 1 Dinowrestler Systegosaur. Now we're going to move on to the hand traps. So I do run 1 Kaiju. Generally, Kaijus, like against Sky Strikers, you just get rid of one of the Sky Strikers, put Flame on the field. Now we also run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and 1 Droll and Lockbird. I feel this is a decent amount of hand traps for this deck, because if you include the Kaiju, you got 6, without it's 5. Now, onto the spell cards. We run 3 Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig, basically add 1 level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand. Simple, easy, good card. Then we run 2 of our first field spell, which is Lost World. So Lost World, basically, all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense except dinosaurs. Once per turn, if a dinosaur monster is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Dureg token to your opponent's field in defense position. While your opponent controls a token, they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects except tokens. Once per turn, if a normal monster on the field will be destroyed by card effect or battle, you can destroy that many dinosaur monsters in your hand or deck instead. Now, I do run only 2 double Evo pill. I do feel 2 is enough because we don't need to run 3. Most leagues are only running 1 of the Overtex. So I do find 2 is the good amount. Now, I also run 2 Twin Twisters. The one thing this deck does suffer with is a bit of spell and trap disruption. So I run 2 twins just to keep that in check. Plus a discard's not always a bad thing. Then we run 1 Monster Reborn. Then for other field spell, I run the World Dino Wrestling. While you control a Dino Wrestler monster, each player can attack with only 1 monster during each battle phase. If your Dino Wrestler monster attacks an opponent, it gains 200 attack during damage calculation only. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can banish this card from the graveyard and special summon 1 Dino Wrestler monster from your deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Now, to help us do that, I also run 1 Foolish Burial Goods. I only need 1 because I only run 1 Dino World And generally this isn't really a main play, this is just a backup play, it's a side play, it was there. Also we run 1 Terraforming. Now, I could run 3 Lost World, I could run 2 Dinowrestlers, but I would rather just run a Terraforming. Because the field spells aren't really like our win condition for this deck, they just help us along the way. Speaking of helping along the way, I run 1 Dark Hole to help us destroy our Babycerasaurus, and also Dark Hole just destroys. It doesn't really affect us too much. Then we run 1 Foolish Burial, pretty self-explanatory. 1 Call by the Grave, again self-explanatory, and 1 Gold Sarcophagus. Now I generally only run Gold Sarcophagus for Giant Rex. Literally activate Gold Scar, chuck Giant Rex into the banish zone, and then summon it. So it's literally just a free special summon for Giant Rex. Now I only run 2 traps, and those are Torrential Tribute, similar reason I run Dark Hole, and Solemn Judgement, just to disrupt my opponent generally. Now onto the extra deck. So I only run 1 Synchro, which is Trish, because generally we don't have any tuners in this deck. I mean, I could run a Drac tuners, but I choose not to. The only tuners I really have are my hand traps, which you don't really want to be tuning away hand traps, but I keep Trish in there. I have used it a couple times, but other than that, it doesn't really come up. Now for the XCs, I run 3, so we got Abyss Dweller, Torrential Dragon, and Laggia. They're rank 4s. They're all quite helpful. Torrential Dragon especially for spell and trap disruption. And now for links, we got Reprodocus and Summon Sorceress. They're all pretty helpful with Underclock Taker as well. And then we got a Knightmare Phoenix and a Pentestag. Now a Pentestag, that's an extremely helpful card, very underrated. Generally, anything that's linked to it gains piercing ability. So if you have a Tyranno underneath it, Tyranno chucks everything face down defense, piercing, 3500. You know, it's a lot of damage to take. Then we run a Borrelguard Dragon. Now you can run any of the Borrel's Sword, you know, it doesn't matter. I run Borrelguard because, truthfully, it's the only one I have. Now you'll notice there's not a lot of extra deck there. So it's one of them options where you can fill your extra deck with stuff like Sky Striker cards, any cards you feel may come in handy, and then just chuck in 3 Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries into your deck. You know, that play is always a very optional thing for this. More so now with the new pot card coming out in Savage Strike. That's going to be something for this deck, which will be brilliant. So that's that for the deck profile. Thank you for watching. Any suggestions, comments, just leave them down below. And I'll see you next time. Peace!